Well, we're getting the foundation kind of going. First thing we needed to do was get the plumbing kind of situated. I found a local plumber in town. It's a little company, two brothers run it. They came out this morning, kind of did a string line around, did some cross lines of where the walls are going to be, and drew out a schematic of where I need to dig for this plumbing to go in. They're going to be the ones kind of fitting it together, at least the plumbing that goes underneath the slab. I don't want to have any problems with the plumbing under the slab. I can do a lot of the plumbing that's in the walls and the upstairs coming down through. That's not hard to do. The plumbing under the slab was driving me a little crazy, trying to figure out how many pipes need to go where for vents and drainage. It's a little over my head. So this guy offered to come out. He's only charged me for the time he's here. It's perfect. Him and his brother are really good company to work around. Got it kind of marked out. We got a bunch of stakes in the ground. Not all the stakes are where fixtures are coming up, but you can see some of the green marking paint also. The green marking paint is what's got to get excavated. The stuff at that end only needs to get dug out about 5 inches, maybe 6 inches, and then it drops another 1/4 inch every foot until you get down to this end where it comes out of the slab and goes into the septic tank. It's got to be a 1/4 inch drop per foot. I need to get my backhoe over here, park it really close to the string line, climb up on the roof, and snap a picture of where all these markings are. Because I'm sure once I get my backhoe in there and start digging stuff up, even though I'm only moving 6 inches of dirt, it's going to cover up some of these markings, and I don't want to lose track of what I'm doing or forget to dig one up. So I'll get my backhoe over here, snap a picture, and then I'll start at that end, probably, and work my way in, pulling the rebar and pulling the string line as I go. Excavate those out, and then I'll get the forms, the outside footings dug out and around. And hopefully I can get all that done and get the form boards up. I've still got to go back to Home Depot. I thought about using rebar, pieces of rebar for form stakes, but I think it's going to be more hassle than it's worth. I'm going to make another trip back to Home Depot and grab about 60 concrete form stakes. They have little holes in them. They're just like these right here, these little stakes I've used. They've got the little holes in them for the nails to go through so that the 2x8 doesn't slide up and down that stake. It's nailed pretty solid into place. So I'll get some more of those stakes, make my life easy. That way I'm not fussing with it. The last thing I want to do really is start forming things up and wrestle with 2x8 boards and pieces of rebar for form stakes. I did think about it. I'm going to make my life easy. So let's get to work. I did have to do some work on the backhoe yesterday. I was missing a couple teeth on the bucket. I was down to 2 teeth. When I bought this backhoe, it came with a bunch of extras. Came with tire chains, came with the forks for the front, and it came with all these extra teeth. And I've got some pictures I snapped on the way. These little teeth right here, these 2 are new, along with the base. I had to grind all those welds down and then weld the base part on, and then you slide the tooth over, and it's got like a little indent on the inside that fits in a notch. I haven't decided whether I'm going to weld these teeth on. These other teeth, these ones that have been on here for a while, they don't flop around. It seems to me like somebody came in here and pressed them in. Either that or they're just full of dirt and water and rust, I don't know. But these, you have to pound them on there with a hammer. They're not easy to get on, so I can't imagine they're going to be coming off there very easy. But maybe I put a tack weld or something on them just to hold them steady. Who knows? We'll see. Let me get part of this excavated out, get this going. Please don't roll. That's a bit of work, even on a backhoe. But I think I've got it all dug out pretty decent. It has to be at least 6 inches deep and then sloping to this end. Now this center ditch is a little bit deeper than what it needs to be. And it's really deep down at that end down there. If you can see that far end. That's where the electrical is coming in, and it has to be between, from when I'm talking to different people, between 24 inches and 30 inches deep. So I went ahead and dug it 30 inches deep. There's a ton of rock over there. So I'm gonna get some of the gravel and pack in around that so it doesn't have big rocks around the conduit that the electrical is gonna run through. I still have to dig the footings around the outside edge. Those are not done. I've gotta move all this rock from this ditch I just dug. I mean, you can see how big some of these rocks are. That's a big rock. It's actually split in half. That's the type of rock that's in here. And that's why I wanted to dig it a little bit deeper so that when I put the pipe in, I could backfill with some of my pea gravel up there around the pipe, and it wouldn't be resting up against these big rocks that could potentially wear on the pipes as they adjust in the ground, or I don't know. I've been warned not to have big rocks around any pipes, so that's what I'm doing. I have to go back to Home Depot because I forgot to pick up my electrical conduit that has to go in this ditch right here. And then I can backfill that. This ditch only needs to be, I think, about 6 to 8 inches deep for the plumbing. And the first part of the plumbing comes in right there. So I gotta go to Home Depot, get my 2-inch conduit, run it in all the way to this point. Whoa. All the way to this point right here, which is about where the wall's gonna be. I'm gonna run it in, backfill probably half of it. I've gotta leave this end of that electrical conduit fairly loose after I dig the footings, put the form boards up and the foam, the foam insulation. Then I can measure in and find out exactly where the end of that conduit needs to be. But for now, this is the end of today. By the time I get back from Home Depot, I'd guess it's going to be a 3-hour trip. It's about an hour down there. Get the conduit, stand in line, you know, make sure I have everything I need. I'm going to get some stakes. I think I'm going to pick up stakes for the forms instead of trying to use rebar. I was going to use rebar. I think I'm just going to make my life easy. So I can't fully bury that conduit until I get the footings dug and the forms up so I can measure into where that wall is supposed to be. Then I can put that conduit in and hopefully, cross your fingers, it comes up right where that wall is, or at least within a few inches. And you can always fudge a wall a few inches when you're building to make it work. We've already found out with the plumbing that we need to make the wall between the master bedroom and the master bathroom and master closet a 2x6 studded wall, because it's got to have a 2-inch plumbing pipe it's going to go up to the toilet upstairs and the shower. So a 2-inch pipe going through 2x4 wall doesn't work too well. So we've already decided that that wall is going to be 2x6 and it's going to connect up to the upstairs. But anyways, for now, I got to run to Home Depot before they close, get this electrical conduit and get back up here. Tomorrow morning I'll wake up, I'll dig the footings around the outside, I'll clear this dirt off to the side over there, get it out of the way, start getting some forms going. I've got to get that electrical conduit in and compact it down. My neighbor has a compactor that he's going to let me borrow to compact all this in on top of the electrical, and then when I get the final grade going down the middle, I'll have that here to compact any gravel we put in there. So it's going to be another day, full day tomorrow, I'm thinking. So hang out until next time. Go make something.